Alright folks, today's video is Tahoe International to Reno. I don't know what the Tahoe idents are, but Reno is KRTS. And we're using the Cessna jet.
Runway tree 5 left, Matty 8178 tree.
Alright. Flaps. Down. Now, I was holding the A button to get the engines to go up in power, and it wasn't working for me, so I let the co-pilot take over, and the co-pilot was able to get the engines up. But the co-pilot didn't have the smoothest takeoff here, as we'll watch. We kind of bounced a few times. I don't know why. There was no need for us once we had the front wheel up. But maybe we didn't have good airspeed to start.
Goodbye. NorCal departure Matty 8178 tree is passing 5,400 feet, climbing 8,000 feet. Matty 8178 tree, NorCal departure altimeter tree 0.19 radar contact, continue. Matty 8178 tree, you are 9 miles southeast. Maintain present heading and altitude, expect vectors, visual runway 26 approach. Maintain present heading and altitude, expect vectors, visual runway 26 approach, Matty 8178 tree.
Double checking to make sure I had IFR clearance. Now, I did not want 26. I wanted runway 8, and I attempt to change that to another runway here. I go down the runway 8. And, therefore, I thought my orders were switched. Go to find out, I still was landing where the controller told me to. So sometimes you don't always get to... Your flight plan does not always get followed. But that's because I have the option for ATC to change and get the orders to where to land or not land, so, or take off and not take off. So apparently 26 was the landing runway. Now, before I hit start on this flight, it said it was about 3-minute flight time. Okay. Even though I added in departure, a departure, an arrival, and an approach. Well, approach was automatic, so I don't know what the automatic approach was. Arrival was direct. Departure was also direct. So, I don't know why it took me as long as it did to do this flight. Should have been no more than 10 minutes in the air. I think we spent more than 10 minutes in the air, or maybe 10 minutes in the air. Of course, then you, I don't do very many videos of me starting cold. So you got your startup procedures and taxiing to the runway for takeoff. Did you have your taxiing to a parking spot or gate and your shutdown procedures. This flight is, and it's real time, so it's, let's say about 8, around 8 a.m. in Nevada. 7, 8. I don't know. And I'm not. I didn't pull up the thing. It wasn't that important. Other than the sun was up. Now there is a Reno landing challenge. That's what I was basing this off of. I just added a departure. What was I checking?
NorCal departure Matty 817 tree requesting vector to next waypoint.
Oh, that's what I was doing.
Matty 8178 tree, turn left heading 125.
Okay.
Turn left heading 125, Matty 8178 tree.
Where's my... That's CDI. I need a heading bug. And altitude. And CDI doesn't work.
178 tree descent and maintain 7,100 feet.
Okay. Heading of 125.
7,100 feet, Matty 8178 tree.
Got it. Now 7,100. It kept going negative there on me. Okay, now we got it in what he wanted, although I think the co-pilot was doing fine. Well, co-pilot was doing fine till a certain point a little later. I think we might actually have done one big circle around Reno before we came in the land. Just because we had to get the right, we had to come in at the correct angle for landing. We didn't do a join. I don't remember panning down for us to check out the airfield as we flew over. Alright, part 3. Okay, now these there is some skips in there because I didn't pause. But I think we're only missing like maybe 10 seconds of flight time each time I've done that. It looks like we're turning onto our approach. Maybe? Not much going on over here in Nevada, between Tahoe and Reno. I know we came across a lake a little bit later, or right, you know. I don't know, this might be Lake Tahoe that we fly over in a little bit. I actually don't know. And we're making another left think. So again, yeah, I wanted runway 8 to land, which is your Reno landing challenges on runway 8. So I don't know, maybe runway 8 is not usable, or was an operation, it was an operation, but maybe it was the departure runway at the instance I was doing this flight.
9817 Airport is at your 10 o'clock 12 miles. Maintain present heading and altitude. Report runway in sight.
9817 has the runway in sight.
9817 you are 11 miles east of Kilo Romeo Tango Sierra. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Change this by 100.
9817 Kilo Romeo Tango Sierra traffic 9817 10 miles east inbound visual runway 26.
Okay, gears down. Alright, last part. And coming up is where I did take control for a little bit. It was my aircraft when it gets all jerky. And I had trouble controlling, but I was able to hand it back to the co-pilot before we had a disaster. Yeah, right here it was my aircraft, and I was just trying to yaw a little, but apparently my controller wanted to be really sensitive there. And okay, so co-pilot has it, and good thing we have our gear down because we decided to do a touch and go on the sand dune. Which I thought maybe you were going to clear it. That's why I didn't take control and give us altitude. But, yep, we hit, and luckily we didn't crash. Co-pilot regained control. And this in front of us is what I think is Lake Tahoe. But, again, I don't know. We're landing in Reno, so is there a Lake Reno?
Kilo Romeo Tango Sierra traffic 9817 4 miles east inbound visual runway 26.
That town looks bad. At least in this game it is. Now what's weird is these landing pattern things, if you noticed, are actually casting shadows. I don't really like that they cast shadows. I wish they could just be a visual we see, but don't affect lighting. I could just turn them off since I'm not actively flying. But I like to leave them on, that way I know the pattern we're in. Alright, we're coming up on the runway. And this was bad. We were a little too far to the right. Again, this is the computer landing. I mean, look at that. That's terrible. Why can't the AI do better? I mean, they should do perfect landings all the time. I mean, maybe I could have done better. I don't think I could have done any worse. Alright, well, Let's get off the runway here. We stopped pretty quick, that's for sure. This jet stopped pretty quick on the runway there. There's our stats again.
Kilo Romeo Tango Sierra traffic Manny 817 tree is clear of the runway. Kilo Romeo Tango Sierra traffic Manny 817 tree is clear of the runway.
Okay. Heard you the first time. Alright. What was I getting ready to check here? Can we get gate or parking directions? No taxi directions. Okay. Well, co-pilot's still in charge, and oddly enough, when the co-pilot is in charge, we end up, most of the time, we end up at a parking spot or a gate. But I would have done the taxiing, but there was no directions, and no blue chevrons showed up for me to know where to drive, to taxi to. So, yeah, I didn't take control. The co-pilot still had the flight. Obviously, in this flight, when I took control, I screwed us up more than the co-pilot did. And that morning sun is bright. Maybe there's no ground control here. Because all we did was say we were clear of the runway. So maybe Reno doesn't have ground control. And we are still talking to the tower there to let them know the runway was cleared for landing or takeoffs. Alright, here we go. We're turning to... where are we gonna park? And this idiot is walking right in front of me. He would have got killed if we were a proper plane. Alright, here's our wing walker guiding us in. I guess they're called wing walkers. I thought wing walkers were something different than the people that guide you in to park. Alright, this does not look like a parking spot to me, but okay. Looks like we were supposed to be a little further to the right. But, he was there. There was a pushback guy standing there. So, thanks for watching this, what should have been a lot shorter flight. Enjoy, and goodbye.